Soul Garden. Live, love, be.
Good morning. From my smartphone to yours, I'm Castin Love. From the Series Joy Garden Studios in Costa Mesa, California, this is your Tuesday Namaste Today. Good morning and namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today. I'm your host and spiritual life coach, stepº4. My modality is psychic astrology, and my personal mission is to stand in my heart and help other people come into theirs. This webisode is for Tuesday, February 23rd, 2016, and today the Great Human Walk has reached step 4, Pisces. Hello, my friends. I am back in the garden studios and feeling very grateful to be back here. I'll be telling you some updates on what's going on in my life at the end of the show. But I am feeling at home, Bella here, and tons of the sniffles, man. Oh my goodness. The weather in Southern California has been so crazy, and I've been going back and forth between climates, so forgive me if I'm a little nasal in this show. Now, today it might be a hit and miss sort of day. Let's go to today's vibe and get straight to it. I'm predicting showers, chance of storms today for most of the population. Now, I have to admit, I actually went through my own breakdown, I think, over the weekend, and I saw some people go through it also through the weekend. And remember, if you've been studying with me long, sometimes the breakdown can happen as soon as step 2. So you might have already had the full moon sort of breakdown. If you haven't, or if your friends and family haven't, you might see them go through it today. This breakdown is based on step 4 ruling the day, which means we might be up for a rude awakening of where we belong. So today my heart is feeling I belong somewhere else. All right? I'm feeling like this is not it. This is not working for me. My heart doesn't enjoy this energy. Yeah, say it, Bella. She's agreeing. And so the moon or our emotions, my feelings are full of anticipation. Probably also not very patient as well. The moon is still full, although coming down off of the climax of the degree. But today the moon will cross over Jupiter, which means our emotions will go through a real expansion. Now, I'm open to new decisions. Venus is at step 8 Aquarius, so I'm open to deciding differently. And what am I deciding? Where I belong. Okay, step 4 rules a day. So I'm trying to figure out where I belong. And to get there, we must be self-compassionate. I'm thinking about breakthrough concepts. I'm thinking radical. I'm thinking out of the box. I'm thinking holy shift sort of dynamic changes. And I'm drawing my spiritual boundaries. That is, I'm making personal emotional boundaries today that serve my spiritual mission, Pisces. And at the end of the day, I don't care how much you like the Lexus or the Mercedes or whatever it is, I came here for a spiritual mission, and I'm going to fulfill it. So I think we're all drawing those spiritual boundaries today with Mars at step 25. So finally, I am learning today about emotional boundaries. That's what I'm learning about. I'm learning where emotional boundaries need to be. I'm learning how I'm vulnerable and how I'm not vulnerable. And I'm learning the emotional consequences of the choices I make. All right? So today, your joy quest, should you choose to accept it, friend and citizen, is to accept and receive where you truly belong. Now, belonging, of course, is what we just spent the last month in Aquarius working on. But the truth is that we weren't working on it with the compassion of Pisces. And that's what has poured on the planet the last 3 days. You may feel miserable because the universe is pouring compassion on the planet. And when people are really wound up, when they've held on to really difficult things in their life and insisted on stubborn solutions, well, when compassion pours on the planet, it actually hurts. Because you're going against the grain, the universe is saying relax, and you're not. And so if you're in a lot of pain, anxiety, whatnot, you're holding on to stuff that just needs to let go. Okay, so it is time to accept and receive where you truly belong. And if you can't carry something with you to where you're going, put those things down. They're not meant to go. Don't get attached to physical, folks. Remember, we can remanifest this earth anytime we want. We can manifest any second we want. Do not get too attached to material. And you'll hear me say that all through the month of Pisces. So today, my friends, is a breakdown breakthrough day. It comes down to figuring out where we belong and it comes down to listening to our higher senses. And on that topic, I think I'm going to make that today's topic. We're going to talk about the truths and having to listen to them. And in today's Zen Den, I'm going to show you the whole lineup of the planets and actually coach you spiritually through the day. But first, let's transition to today's topic. Today's topic is psychic truths. We can no longer ignore the signs. So it's been a very powerful week for myself. I went to a Conscious Life Expo. I'll be posting the videos. But also during this last week, as I was preparing for the expo and I was seeing the climax of Aquarius and going to Pisces, I have to say, watching the politics of the world, many things have alarmed me. And I also have been networking with other light walkers and being affirmed on a lot of my own truths. And after this convention and after watching the headlines, I have to say, as a sensei and as a person who truly loves planet Earth and wants the best for it, I think we can no longer ignore our psychic truths anymore, folks. And what I mean by that is there is a lot of hanky-panky stuff going on in our country, in our world. And the thing is we are waking up. So it seems to me that if we're waking up and we're seeing these truths, we need to do something about it. That's my thought. So let me ask you the 5 o'clock question today. Have you ever gotten the feeling that you're being lied to? Have you ever gotten the feeling that you're being lied to? And the follow-up? When that happens, do you ignore that signal or do you embrace it somehow? When it happens, do you ignore it or do you embrace it? Now, I bring all this up because I think a lot of stuff is going on right now and in the world. I'll bring up a couple of headlines. This shooter that we recently had who was an Uber driver. I just have to, again, this is another shooting event in the United States. And I just want to say, listening to my psychic truths, there's something very funny about that shooter. I don't think that person really came to it on their own. I think someone has programmed that person to go shoot. And my psychic truth is saying this over and over again with most of the shootings in the country. Now, I am a professional psychic, and I have studied history, and I think it's my duty as a citizen to say something is wrong. Now, what I'm asking is for you to check your own psychic truths and to listen to your own guts on things, because I think we're coming to a real dangerous moment in our lives. We are awakening. We are seeing. And that, therefore, we, I think, have the responsibility of taking some sort of action with our knowledge. Now, I don't know what the action is, but I do want to say, as a light walker, it's time for a call to action. Now, I think the Uber shooter was kind of funky. I also want to say that I want to applaud Tim Cook and Apple Computers for standing up to the federal government and not building software to break into their own creation. First of all, who the hell is the government to say for us to break into our own creation? If I built a safe in my house, you're going to tell me I have to break into my own safe? Like, this is, as citizens, this is so not cool. The other thing is we captured these two bad people. They were killed, and I don't know, if it's a live or die situation as to whether we're going to have to see what's on that final phone. So my psychic instincts are very triggered that we have to stand tall about what our rights and our liberties must be on it right now, and I really think it's important that people, in their own way, do what they are called to do. I'll bring up another thing. I think that we have to be very conscious of the politics going on in this presidential election, and we have to psychically listen to what we're being told about candidates. I've talked to a lot of people about what their gut says about Bernie, or their gut about Hillary, or their gut about Donald Trump. But I wonder, are people going to vote on their gut? Are people going to speak up? So I encourage people to, if you care, it's time to share. In essence, looking at the planets, and I'll show this in the Zen Den, humankind has come to a point where the light walkers, and also I've realized the baby boomers who are actually growing into really for the first time in a long time, our first elder generation. because I don't think we've had an elder generation. And that's what this baby boomer is going to give us, is an elder generation. They're a generation of wise souls who've had their heart broken and they've rebuilt it again. And as they're aging, I'm seeing a lot of my baby boomer clients come into an elder position. Elder meaning Thomas Jefferson. Elder meaning, any of the forefathers. But I think that this time we need a lot of the foremothers, okay? So what I'm getting at here is that today is a breakthrough day. And today everyone on the planet is asking themselves, where do I truly belong? Well, for myself, I know I came to this lifetime to ensure or help the earth become more peaceful, to become a better place to live, to be a place where you can incarnate and create amazing, cool things, and where you have the rights to basic survival. It's not something you have to question. And I think we're at a time now, a turning point, where whatever we can do, whatever we feel called to do, we must do. And I think each person has a deal with Creator. Each person has a deal with God and what they do. And I'm saying to you, I think you should tell all your followers it's time to do it. I think you should do it. I think you should do whatever your calling is. Spirit will tell you. Now, as far as timing is concerned, I'm concerned that we don't have a lot of time, not to create alarms, but I definitely see things moving very quickly now. And I think that we've all been born for this moment. So it's time to stand up and listen to what your instincts are, who you are, what kind of a light walker you are, what you're here to do, and begin doing it. It may take 2-3 years for us to get all completely unpacked and ready. But I think we need to start, and we need to start right now. A lot of things are psychically alarming me, and I would encourage and invite anyone to post and comment what you're psychically picking up on, and to post it on soulgarden.tv, please, where it's a little safer, a little more sheltered. But I think it's time that we all start not only speaking up on our psychic truths, but sharing them with each other. All right, let's shift now to the Zen Den. And welcome to the Zen Den. So today let's take 3 breaths together. And folks, I really encourage you to take 3 breaths because I want to open up in this little moment of 3 breaths a spiritual vortex of love and trust and protection. So if you love me and you open up to this vortex, you have my love, you have my protection. And no one is permitted into this field who doesn't have total love for all of us. And so it is. So let's take 3 breaths, and I'm going to charge our little field here to love and protect you and your family. Ooh, and I got a great charge from Spirit as to what to talk about. And I love Pisces because I have Mars in Pisces. I'm a God service provider by nature, right? So my masculine side feels so relaxed, and I feel very tense through most of the year. So it's interesting how that happens. Let's do an affirmation to help you with your day. I accept and receive today where I spiritually belong. I accept and receive today where I spiritually belong. And so it is. So I believe that a lot of, the truth of life and light is that we've all planned this life ahead of time. And the truth is Creator and all of our guides and angels and all of the other side are here to assist us. And I really don't have to do a call of action for you to watch me every day. The only call of action I have is for you to go do what you are spiritually here to do. And know that I am here to support you and love you and protect you on whatever that journey is. And I trust you. All right? So trust yourself and listen to where you spiritually belong. And realize that awareness is what we're talking about today. Just being aware of where you belong. You don't have to act. You don't have to plan. You don't even have everything played out. You just need to be aware. All right? And accept and receive it. So let's take a look at our overhead projector. So excited to have this back. And we've got a beautiful day in the planets here. The universe is clearly telling us that we have something going on. This is called a yod. You see this big thing right here? This is a yod. And as I like to say, that's God giving us the finger. I saw this yod on approach the last couple days, and so I could see what was going on. Now, the way it works is, remember we had talked about creating that palace. That's palace right there. And we were creating a palace of integrity, step 11. So a palace of integrity is 1 foot of the yod. All right, palace of integrity. Oh, and I'm going to keep reminding myself to say what sign. Step 11, Aquarius. Okay, so palace is in step 11, Aquarius. The other foot of the yod is fascinating as well. It is Uranus at step 18, Aries. Okay, Uranus in step 18, Aries. Now, yesterday, Uranus was at step 17, 0.59 minutes. Today, it's at 18. Isn't that interesting in the timing? 18, by the way, is a grandmaster step of Aries. That's because 1 plus 8 makes 9, and Aries is the sign of nines. So this is a purebred Aries. And what this is saying is it's time to love and decide what kind of action or man you're going to be. It's time to love 1, 8, and decide what kind of action you're going to take. And once you love and decide, you take the action. Okay? Once you love and decide, when the timing is right. So the 2 feet of the yod is 1 foot in absolute integrity with Aquarius, which is where everything truly belongs. 1 other foot, probably the right foot, because the left foot's probably, the right foot is basically the new ego. I am, I decide, and I. And what are they pointing to? Well, today they're pointing to the moon in Virgo, which is crossing Jupiter by the end of the day. Now, Jupiter is retrograde, step 20, which means Jupiter is basically getting us pregnant with how we feel, step 2. Safe or not, step 0. Still adds to a 2 in the grand. How we feel about reality, Virgo. How do we feel about our reality? Or put simply, how do we feel about our life? So, what's happening here today is all based on the step 4 of the sun. All right? The step 4 is I belong. And Pisces is our spirituality. So, in essence, we need to decide where we belong spiritually. Once we decide where we belong spiritually, I think we follow the yod. All right? And following the yod means we stand on 1 foot of integrity, we stand on 1 foot of the new I am, and we start to feel out where in reality this belonging should be and aim there. Now, this would mean, this is coming to mind psychically right now from my guides for you guys, is that right now don't expect to know the final destination of where you'll end up in reality, but know where that would feel. So it's like, oh, that feels like New Mexico. Oh, that feels like this. That feels like that. It's really more important about getting programmed about the feeling, because you might be surprised to find that feeling somewhere else, but you'll recognize the feeling. And that's what's important, and Spirit leads that way. Spirit lets you think it's one, and then actually you find out it's another. So just go with the flow and be simple. Now, when I was actually bowing my head and taking 3 breaths and creating a field of love for you guys, the planet that came up was Mars. And what Spirit was saying, Mars is at step 25. It's what I feel and what I think, which adds to my spiritual sense. So when your feelings and your thoughts come together, when they're on the same team, that's usually because they're aligned with Spirit. When your feelings and thoughts come together on the same team, that's because they're aligned with Spirit. 7. Mars is I am what I am doing. And what am I doing? Mars is always creating, always pushing. Creating and pushing emotional boundaries, Scorpio. Mars is at step 25, Scorpio. So Spirit was telling me that, in essence, it's time to act on, literally, your spiritual boundaries. It is time to enforce your spiritual boundaries. And that means if a candidate or a politician or anything doesn't resonate well with you, then you should act on your spiritual boundaries. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say one more thing. I saw Aaron Brockovich talking about the water crisis. Another in Flint, Michigan. Water is in a bad situation all over the country. So another big wake-up call. And God bless Aaron Brockovich for being a light. She's one of my favorite light walkers. I cannot wait to meet that woman one day. So Spirit said it's all about Mars. It's all about where you take your action. And right now, your actions really count. So it's like you may not think anyone's watching. You may not think it matters. But what actions you take, they draw the spiritual boundaries now that will stick. Okay. I think that's it. All right, friends, thank you so much for logging in. Thank you so much for your love, and thank you so much for your protection. I greatly appreciate it. It's been so nice to connect to people. I have a lot to share with you, but I'm getting back on my feet after the conference. I've learned so much, and I want to share with you. And if you notice a shift in me, I had a couple of healings, and I feel fantastic. I'm on the rebound in a new way. So no matter how healthy you feel, I find that it still just keeps getting greater and greater when you do that soul work. So I encourage you to do it. Well, remember, I love you. Let's see. Oh, yes, I'll actually give that notice tomorrow. But just as a short notice, I'm going to be in LA for Los Angeles for a good month or so coming up because we are going to be developing something here in a rapid succession. So more news to come as far as where I'll be traveling next. But I'm not traveling as of now for the next month or so. All right, friends, remember, I love you and live, love, be.